What effect from the Friday White House crypto signing? Not really much, right? You would have thought there would have been a boost in crypto. It looks like what they did was, they knew ahead of time, so they traded it up. They pumped it up before the news. It was kind of like a buy the rumor, sell the news thing on Bitcoin. But what will happen usually with Bitcoin and most stocks is that people found out about the whole White House crypto thing. The average the retail investor that has not been able to capitalize on crypto because they were afraid to jump in, is crypto over, blah, 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 what's going on, right? They missed this move. The April, May, June move in crypto. This is the weekly chart. Look at this. Boom, 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 right? So most retail investors missed it. So now that we got this kind of gap up and it's lofty up here, I would imagine that the FOMO traders are going to want to get a piece of Bitcoin. So this kind of gives them permission. Maybe now we can buy Bitcoin because now the White House signed off and they don't want to miss the next move. They already missed this one over the last few months. So perhaps there's a FOMO trade here that takes this higher. We'll have to see. Fly Angler, equal weight SP 500 appears to have stalled out, not printing higher highs. S&P estimates has been trading higher. Algo's driving only the largest market cap stocks. Spread between them right now is worth watching. Do investors watch the spread for extreme levels? Will shift in this spread be an early indicator? No, that's not. I mean, it's not that they're not watching the spread, but I don't think it's an indicator or where they're programming their algos. What's moving the market are the zero DTE traders, and the investors know this. Investors and traders know that the zero DTE market is controlling 99% of the market movement right now, and it's really easy to watch. You could be sitting there looking at the SPY, and the SPY is sitting at 622, and then all of a sudden price starts to move higher. And all you have to do is look at today's options chain and you'll see the volume coming in at 623 and 624 in terms of calls. Then when you look at puts and you look at the 621s and the 620s, not nearly the same amount of volume. So the market maker starts playing some shenanigans. So typically in the afternoon, what the market maker does, early afternoon, starts to pump up because it needs to buy stock. It needs to accumulate a position of stock just in case, out of their control, the traders push and squeeze the market higher. Because if that happens and the market goes to, say, 626, and then anybody that's sitting on 623s and 624 calls, they say, okay, market maker, give me stock. I want to exercise my option. And who in their right mind wouldn't want to? If you bought 10,000 of the 622 calls, and at the end of the day, price was at close to 627, would you not want to take possession of the stock and own the SPY at 622 while it's at 627 and scooching higher? Would you not want to own that stock at 622? Of course you would. So many investors will take possession of the stock. Well, who are they getting the stock from? The market maker will do the transaction and provide the stock position, but they have to accumulate the position in order to have it. So they're not going to buy the stock at 627 at the end of the day to deliver it to you tomorrow at 622. No way. So they're buying it down here. And that's what surges the stock initially in the early afternoon higher until the market maker gets some feedback and sees some put action. All of a sudden, maybe some puts start to show up. So there's a little bit of a balance. So that's when you see the market maker come up and tag 624 where all those big calls are, maybe get a little bit above it, and then start to sell off. Now, this is a gamble, but they love doing this. They'll sell off their shares, big blocks of shares, to push the stock down. Why? Because if you're sitting on 623, 624s, and the 625s are starting to get action in terms of out of the money calls, you're going to close those calls. You're not going to stay in them for zero DTE. Market's moving down. You're going to close your calls for a profit or for a small loss. You're going to get chased out of these positions. And when the market maker has chased enough calls out of position, that's when they'll take a look at the puts. They'll see the puts starting to build up momentum. So what do? Raise cash, sell some more, and come down here. Oh, more puts come in. Yeah, market's dropping. Boom, 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 until most of the calls have been scared away. And then what will the market maker do? Turn around and start buying it up at the end of the day. Why? Because if he can buy this thing up and land the stock somewhere around here, he'll start chasing those puts out. And again, if you were sitting on 619 puts at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 2:30, 3 o'clock, and the market maker reverses gears, and all of a sudden price is now at 621 again, 622, 623, well, you're going to get out of your puts. So this is what the market maker does all day long. And because of that, that's what the SPY has been doing. So that's what's controlling the market more than anything. It'll continue, listen close, this answers your question. It will continue to do so until there is a narrative change. And here are some of the narrative changes. The markets are going to stay afloat and zero DTE like this until the narrative shifts. What could shift the narrative? Inflation number come out that's different. Powell, something about rate cuts not happening in September could shift the narrative. There could be a tariff explosion where, some country says, F you, Donald, I'm not playing your tariff game. China reneges. Russia was just given 50 days. Russia comes back and says, you can give us 100 days. We're not going to play ball or whatever, right? So inflation, Powell, tariff, war breaks out again in the Middle East. Something with Ukraine, Russia maybe happens. More bombings in Syria, which changes the power structure there. Who knows? If the narrative shifts, maybe a job number, maybe what if Apple comes out with an absolutely miserable report and drops 15%? That's a narrative change. So, but in the absence of a narrative change, the markets will continue to be ruled by zero DTE. Do you all understand? It's one or the other. That's what's running this market. Until I tell you differently, it's zero DTE on SPY. That's what's running the markets. Until the narrative shifts geopolitically, inflation, Powell, rate cut, tariff. Right now, the narratives are staying fairly neutral. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video from Trade With Me Now. Make sure to go ahead and like this video and subscribe to our channel so you make sure that you catch our next video right when it's released. Also, if you have a question or comment, please leave that in the comments section below. And of course, if you want to learn more about Trade With Me Now or join our community of profitable traders, go to tradewithmenow.com. There's also a link in the description below.